These items can make or break your trip. By the end of this short video, you'll know the essential items to pack for your first international trip. Hi, I'm Lingo, financial coach and money mama mentor. I'm packing for my month-long trip to Europe, and I wanted to share with you the essential items that can make or break your trip. Now, the good news is that most of these items are one-time purchases, which means budgeting for your first international trip might cost a little bit more, but then you'll have them in place and you won't have to buy them again. So let's get started. Here are my items and the items I think you should not leave home without. Number one, your passport. Make sure your passport is good for at least 6 months from the date of your travel. I always make sure mine's good for a year, but make sure yours is good for at least 6 months. You don't want an expired passport halfway through your trip. Not a good thing. Number two is make sure you have an RFID wallet. The reason you want this is it protects you from identity theft. People can't steal your credit card numbers when you have this type of a wallet. Next is a money belt. You literally wear it around your middle, and you should put in the majority of your money and your passport. And this is to, depending on where you travel, pickpockets may or may not be as prevalent, but this is just another security device to protect yourself. And the next thing is a backpack. Make sure you have a really good sturdy backpack. Now, I use my backpack primarily for the airplane travel. Mine's big enough that I can have all of the things I want on the airplane, plus one set of clothes and my personal items, just in case my checked bag gets lost or delayed. So make sure you have a good backpack. And the next thing is a purse. Now, I don't use my backpack every day while I'm traveling. It depends on the activities we're doing. And when I don't use it, I have a crossbody purse that I use. I love it. It's deep enough so I can put my water bottle in it and all the items that I need for a day's trip, but it's not huge, and it's really comfortable for me to wear. So a crossbody purse is also a safety feature. So you might want to consider that. If you use your backpack all the time, then you probably don't need a purse. You might want to just take a small clutch for evening if you're going out. Next is you want a sturdy suitcase. Now, there are basically two types of suitcases. One's the hard-bodied kind, and I have to tell you, my pet peeve with these, I've tried them, is they fold open like a book. And that means when you're in a hotel room and you try to put it on the suitcase stand that they give you, they don't always fit very well. And if you're in a cruise ship, they take up a lot of room on the floor, and there's not a whole lot of extra room in a cruise ship room. So I just feel like they're too bulky when they open up like that. The soft-sided ones, for me, work better because you can unzip the top and just flip it open. They don't take up as much room, and I can look in and I can see exactly what I have. Now, of course, that means maybe you're digging a little bit more, but I prefer it, the soft side where I can just lift it up. Along with this are packing cubes. Oh my God, this is my new favorite thing, is packing cubes. My requirements are they have to be clear because I want to see my clothes in them. Now, my friend just turned me on to the Samsonite compression cubes. They're clear and they're compression, so you literally roll them up and all the air gets out of them, so they're really tight. So they take up less room, which is a good thing. The bad thing is you can put more clothes in your suitcase, so it gets heavier. So you have to be very careful about your weight, which is a good point. So with your suitcase and what you're packing in your packing cubes, make sure that the dimensions of your suitcase and the weight are in within the allowable dimensions or the allowable terms of the airline you're flying. And international flights may have different requirements than domestic. I can tell you they do. I'll never forget, so you learn by your mistakes, right? So I was in Italy, I was flying home from Italy, and there weight restriction on checked bags was 40 pounds. I had not checked this. I thought it was 50 pounds like it is here in the States. So at the Florence airport, I am frantically trying to take out 10 pounds from my checked bag and get it into my carry-on so I didn't have to pay. It was like an extra 100 euros. It was ridiculous. So check before you pack to make sure that you're staying within the airline guidelines. And along with that is the suitcase lock. If your suitcase does not come with a lock, make sure your suitcase locks are TSA approved. Okay, then more items that I take with on the airplane include a headrest or a neck rest. I have tried 3 different ones. The first 2, they were just too thick in the back and they were making my head go forward. It was so uncomfortable. I just purchased a Be Cozy brand and I'm really looking forward to it because it's a little bit thinner in the back. I've tried it at home. It's much more comfortable, but it still gives me some nice cushion on the side, and it actually prevents my chin from moving forward, so you don't end up like this sleeping on the airplane and then your neck's really stiff after the flight. So that's your headrest. And along with that are headphones. I bought a really good pair of Sony headphones, and they're noise canceling. They're Bluetooth enabled, so it's really nice. I can listen to my music, I can watch movies, or I can play really soothing music if I'm trying to sleep, and they do cancel the noise. It's made a world of difference for trying to get some rest on those international flights. Along with headphones is an eye mask. I won't travel without a really nice silk eye mask. It's a requirement for me to get some sleep on those long flights. Also, so along with that, some of the other things that I require when I'm traveling are my electronic chargers. Don't leave home without them. And I know now we've got a charger for everything, but so many of them are USB, so you don't actually need the plugins, just as long as you have the USB part of it. That's really all you need. Along with that is a battery pack. I bought, I think it's a Free Fund battery pack, which I charge before I leave home. It's got several USB ports, so I can put my phone, my headphone, whatever else, my laptop. I can charge them all off of this battery pack. It's also really handy if your airline seat doesn't have a USB charger or USB port. And it comes in really handy when you're traveling and you're out and about and your phone's ready to die. You can just, put it in and charge it up and keep going. So the battery pack is really important. When you're traveling international, you've got to pay attention to converters and adapters. Converters, in Europe anyway, they tend to run 220 volts instead of 110. So you've got to make sure that your converter will adapt so that your electronic devices don't fry when you plug them in. Now, I bought a travel hair blower, and it has a converter on it. It goes from 110 to 220. So I don't need the converter for that, but I do for all my electronic devices. And the adapter is actually the plug-in. So in the US, we have the 2-prong. Well, in Europe, most of them are 3-pronged. Not only that, but every country has its own. So Italy is different from France, it's different from Switzerland, it's different from Germany. So pay attention and go online and see what kind of an adapter you need. I'm going to 5 countries. I had to have 4 adapters for my 5 different countries. So pay attention and go prepared. So that's the electronics part of it. In addition, when I'm traveling, I take my water bottle everywhere. So I have a nice light metal water bottle that I love. It's a 20 ounce. It fits in my purse. I take it on the airplane. I fill it just before I get on the airplane. So I've got that. Did you know you're supposed to drink 8 ounces of water for every hour you're in the air? Now, I don't know that I'll be drinking 80 ounces of water in the air, but I will be drinking at least 20 to 40 ounces. Keep hydrated. It's really important, and it helps with jet lag too. And then take healthy snacks. Now, I know you get some food on the airplane, especially international flights, but it's not that great. So take healthy snacks that you want and that really support you and your health. Another thing that I do, which is really helpful, is I download the Airline App before I leave home. That way I get text alerts as to any flight changes, gate changes, any delays any changes in the flight whatsoever. And it's very handy. And it also will show you any in-flight entertainment, how to access that as well. And then last but not least is, of course, pack clothing that's appropriate for the weather. Now, I've just gone on, checked the weather for all 5 countries I'm going to. It's quite a variety, let me tell you. So layering is the name of the game. And I also I try to go with 2 main colors so that I can mix and match, and then maybe a third for accent. So make sure that you pack clothing that's appropriate for the weather. I have a very light rain jacket. I always pack that. And I always pack some kind of a hat, a umbrella hat, and my SPF. So make sure that your clothing is appropriate for where you're going to be visiting. So those are my items that I will not leave home without. I wanted to share those with you. Hey, for those of you who are pros at international travel, hit reply and let me know some of your tips and your required items that you won't leave home without. Just for your information, you can read more details. I have a lot more details about all of these items in my blog, which you can find at lindalingo.com/blog. And until next time, I'm Linda Lingo, financial coach and money mama mentor, educating women to achieve financial freedom.